So cool to be alive. I don't care what you think about me, 'cause I'm living loud. I'm gone. Too far. Get the grind. Looking at a shooting star. Got more than a couple of people going mad. I swear they're rooting hard. Said I might be big in the game like she winning once. I said I'm moving too fast. Didn't even get a glance. I'm ready to eat up track like I'm seated in a restaurant. If you have swag like mine, you know it's best to flaunt. We are hating because you want, shining like it's neon.
Happy day and welcome to another tremendous episode of Beers. Sorry, I botched that already. I'm a little rusty. Birds, Beer, and BS.
And BS.
There's the BS part right there. I'll say thank you for joining the program. I'll say the same culprits as always, Peanut, David, myself, Eagle, Jeff, and we have a great show planned for you this evening as we dissect into a lot of different topics. I'll say we'll dive into Russell Wilson and Deshaun Watson. Should the Eagles spin the tires on acquiring either one of those quarterbacks? The Eagles' moves the past couple days that they have done. How it'll affect them. We'll talk a little pop culture. I'll say Brie Larson had a few comments in regards to some certain Avengers. So we'll discuss some comic book stuff if you're a comic book fan. But I'll say first off, gentlemen, I'll say how's everyone doing? It's finally Friday. I'll say work week over with, time to party.
Doing great.
Yeah, absolutely. The party started about half an hour ago.
Yep. Excited about
But I'll say let's get down to business real quick. I'll say, like I said, we have a jam-packed show for you here on the All About the Birds Network with Birds, Beer, and BS. I would say the big news coming from today, I would say it's surprising but not so surprising, as it was announced today by Jason Kelce on his Instagram account that he will be returning for 11th season after restructuring his contract for 2021, after he left the message on his Instagram saying, and I quote, "I'm really fired up to be able to come back and play for the Eagles again," Kelce said via team's website. "I've always said I'm playing until I'm not, and I still have a very strong desire to play the game of football. I still want to do it. I still want to be around the guys. I want to be around the building, around the coaches. I still enjoy that aspect of it, and I'm not ready to stop doing it yet." So, nice. Gentlemen, I'll say your thoughts. I'll say, was this the right move for the Philadelphia Eagles? I know I said last week that the Eagles need to somewhat basically blow up what they have, right. Try to get a new young youth into this organization, especially in a rebuild mode, in a rebuild year, in an off season that they're not going to be much of an impact. So at least in the free agent market with their cap situation, this situation does help the cap situation. Right. They did rework the deal containing $9 million in guarantees that can be worth up to $12 million. Although there are multiple years to the contract, it will function essentially as a one-year deal and offers Philadelphia some cap relief for 2021. So, gentlemen, your thoughts?
Is the money up front or later down the line?
It's one of those things where it lowers his cap number up here. They basically turn it into a signing bonus. Okay. I'll say, I don't know. I'm not like a big cap person as far as parameters or how these things go. Yeah. But I would say for the most part, it lowers his cap number here. It's more in guaranteed money. And yeah, they trickle that money a little bit further down the line. But the thing is, I would say
same stuff we're going through right now.
Well, it's a little bit different.
23.
It's a little bit different. Like it was brought up here. I would say it's essentially a 1 year deal. Okay. I would say because Kelce is a type of guy that's the past couple of years that has said he always contemplate retirement. Right. So I would say you never know when he's going to chalk it up. So I would say after this year, this could be his last season. He might retire, and then the Eagles, or even if he doesn't, the Eagles can probably easily get out of the contract.
Right. Well, I love Kelce. You know what I'm saying? It's good to have a veteran still in here, but at the same time, it's like I'm not happy with always restructuring stuff.
But the restructuring situation is a little bit different circumstance, I feel, this season, because they have to find a way to get under the cap. You're not going to release guys and create more holes and basically have so much more dead money. They're going to have to, if they want to keep these guys around, if these guys want to stick around.
Dead money's when? Next year? The year after? The same situation?
They're able to work it down the contract.
Right.
And I'll say, and the thing with that is, I would say this year was a little bit of a different aspect. I know the Eagles were going to be over the cap, but we didn't expect the Eagles to be over the cap as much as they were if it wasn't for coronavirus and the pandemic.
Now the cap is lower this year because of that, correct?
Yes, because I would say the revenue, there was no. I would say the NFL couldn't get any revenue. They couldn't have fans in the stadium. You're not getting that ticket money. You're losing advertisers in the stadiums and all that. You're losing concessions. I think some of that goes. I think a lot of that goes to the city or the team. I don't know how that all works. I don't know the agreement with those things, but yeah, I'll say all that aspect and a lot lower cap number than the NFL and the league expected.
Right. So are you saying it's a bad idea, Dave?
Like I said, I love Kelce. I'm glad he's back. We need a veteran in there, but I'm just keep restructuring, man, over and over. We're gonna be in the same situation next year and the year after that.
I told you, man, Howie's the rope-a-dope king, man. He knows how to move money.
But you know what? I'm upset. Like the past few years, he's been upsetting me, man. He doesn't show his magic anymore. We're getting screwed.
But the difference with this deal and past deals is Kelce is still a productive offensive lineman.
Yeah, that's why I said I'm happy to have him back.
So Alshon, I'll say, I know everyone wants to bring up the Alshon Jeffrey contract, the Deshaun Jackson contract. Those are guys that have been on the shelf and have not been productive for this franchise in the past couple years.
Okay.
So at least Kelce was the only offensive lineman on our starter that played all 16 games last year with injuries. The dude is a warrior, and I'll say the only thing I'll say I brought up before, which I'm glad they got it done when they did. I'll say I was all for Kelce coming back, and I felt they needed to give him the respect. I'll say to bring him back or let him leave on his own terms, unless he dragged it out. I brought up last week's show and our first episode of All About the Birds, Beer, and BS. I'll say that if Kelce was to come back, that's great, but he can't drag it on. He has to the Eagles would have to give him a deadline because you need to know before the start of the league year what your plan is, what positions you're going to address in free agency, what positions you're going to address in the draft. Right. And I'll say I'm glad he's coming back, and I know he's up there in age, but the thing is,
he's Philly.
He's
Philly.
I don't care about that.
He brings that hunger, that attitude, man.
I don't care about that. I want a guy that's to be productive on the field. And he's a guy that's still playing.
That's what I'm saying.
Yep. He had a down year last year compared to his other Pro Bowl years, but he was still a quality center in this league.
I don't think he personally had a down year. I think the whole line contributed to having a down. Well,
when you're having constant mismatch or change of the guards, and I'll say it's one of those things. I love Kelce, but really he's been playing against some All Pros for quite some time. So the guys next to him, when you have a guy like Brandon Brooks.
Makes it easier.
Or Sayamalu or somebody, and I'll say they get thrown in with Herbig and some of these other guys. Right. I understand. I'll say he has to pick up the slack, so he kind of out there looked like he was playing bad, but he really wasn't. Yeah. But the thing is, I would say he didn't drag it out. I would say they got the deal done. He's returning for 11th season, and that's going to be key when it comes to this offensive line play. When you have your the guy like Jason Kelce out on that football field, especially with a young quarterback with Jalen Hurts. So I'd say they're going to have to work their chemistry, work their magic, especially in minicamp. Hopefully we'll have full-on minicamps. So they can work with that chemistry with the snap counts and gel together so they're ready for week one.
Yeah, I think it's a no-brainer. You got to bring him back. You have to.
And I'll say it's one of those things. I'll say I understand I keep on saying youth movement and you need to get younger, but I would say you don't want to, I would say like Chip on our All About the Birds weekly report said, you don't want to get rid of guy and create a new hole just to try to save a couple bucks.
Exactly. Yeah, you need a guy.
We have too many holes.
We got a young quarterback. We got a young quarterback that needs a veteran lineman in front of him, especially in that position.
You need that experience.
Yeah, you need it. Yeah, no brainer, man.
But I'll say there's a couple other tough decisions that the Eagles are working on at this moment. I'll say it was reported this week by Derek Gunn that the Eagles are working on restructuring Brandon Graham and restructuring right tackle Lane Johnson. So those are two other moves that help us get under the cap.
Another restructure for Lane.
Yeah, no, Lane. We need Lane, man.
We need Lane. You guys can't keep restructuring stuff, guys.
But these guys, I would say Howie screwed the pooch and gave these guys too much money, and now I would say a lot of these guys were with bad contracts, and now we're in a horrible situation. Yeah. So I would say it's either move on from these guys or keep them on and restructure. So I'm not so pissed off about the restructuring part.
Right.
I would say I'm not really mad at all. I'm saying, but Howie's trying to find a way. I would say you can't do what's done is done. You can't go move back. You can't undo that. But I'll say we can't gut the entire basis of this football team. I'll say
we didn't move forward either. Doing the same situations that we're in this situation now.
Right,
we're doing it all over again.
You're looking. I think you're looking too much into it. I'll say it's a little bit of different circumstance because Lane Johnson, he's injured, but he's still when he's out there, he can still be productive.
Oh yeah.
And I'll say,
of course.
And Brandon Graham, I'll say essentially they're going to work on it's essentially probably going to be a 1-year deal. I say he's due $15 million next year for a guy that's 32, 33 years old.
Yep.
I would say. Yeah, he's coming off his first Pro Bowl season last season, but he only had 8 sacks.
Right.
And I'll say the one thing I'll say that Gannon, our new defensive coordinator, is going to do, he's going to find other ways to get pressure on the quarterback. So I'll say it's going to take a lot of the pressure off the front four, which Jim Schwartz relied a lot of.
Right.
So but you're not going to pay a guy $32 million or he's going to get cut.
Right.
So and Brandon Graham has voiced a lot of. He's voiced a lot that he wants to stick around. He wants to be in the city of Philadelphia.
Yeah, hell yeah. We want him here.
I love all the guys. I love all the guys we just spoke about. But like I said, just the way they're handling it.
I think Howie's working his magic, man. I'm telling you, I told you guys last week. I just like the way he moves money, man.
Unless he's doing all this to get, I don't know, even make a splash in free agency.
Well, we're not going to make a splash in free agency.
No big names, but
nobody wants to come here.
So why are you freeing up all this money for if you're not going to go after it?
Because they have to. They're $40 billion over the cap. It's not like baseball or basketball where there's there's a grace period.
Right.
I would say you have to be under the cap by the start of the league year. So it's either by restructuring contracts or by gutting the team and getting rid of a lot of high contracts like Javon Hargrave, Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham. And now I would say there's another name I would say I want to throw you guys. But I know I think we discussed him a little bit last week. But if they restructured Brandon Graham, what does that mean for Derek Barnett? I would say he's due $10 million, I believe, with that 5th-year option. So they can take away that 5th-year option. It won't affect them at all, but they get that $10 million back. But if you do that, you're basically admitting that you're giving up on a 1st-round pick that was a big bust for you.
Yep, I would.
That you invested in.
I would go with Sweat.
You know what?
Bring Curry back for the backup.
You're not bringing Curry back. I'll say Curry. I love him to death. I'll say maybe later in the year, and that's the thing. That's the sad thing with this defense. This defense, I'll say, had so many strong points. And last offseason, we were discussing how much of a strength that defense was going to be, especially that front four.
I was so upset,
and it was a complete disappointment.
Yep. Yeah. That's what it tells me is they're going to start moving pieces around and they're trying to figure out.
$80 million line.
What's that?
That was an $80 million defensive line.
Yeah, it was up there. Yeah, it was up there for sure. They're starting to move pieces. I think Barnett is on the chopping block. I think personally, I still think Cox is on the trade table as well.
Cox. I'll say Barnett. I'll say the only way I feel he is sticking around is if they somehow can work an extension where it's still the same amount of money, but space it out over the 3 years. So give him maybe a 3-year deal. Or two or 3 year deal and spread it out over $3 million and have like a bunch of incentives based on performance.
So what are the key players that are not productive for another 3-4 years?
But I'll say
at a cheaper price or a cheaper hit.
It'd be a cheaper price. And there's a way, I'll say how he can work his magic where it would be a way, I'll say contracts can be ripped up any day.
True.
I'll say, so how he can work in that deal where it's basically a franchise-friendly deal where they can move that money around, either front-load it or back-load it, say maybe $5 million this year, but then 2 or 3 over the next 2 years. So if he's not productive in a prove-it type of year next season, they can get rid of him easily or trade him.
And then we have Denver.
Not that much dead money.
It won't be that much dead money, dude, because it's not that big of a contract. Dude, you're focused way too much on the freaking dead cap.
We're gonna be in the same situation.
No, we're not, because next year there's gonna be fans in the stands. The revenue is gonna drastically increase over the next couple years. And after this year and after next year, this year and next year, you have Wentz off your books, so you're getting that money back. And I would say a lot of these players' contracts you're gonna move on from eventually.
So, question: do you think Howie's doing the right thing by doing this?
Well, he has to.
Right.
He has to. So otherwise, we're not gonna have a football team. He has to get under the cap, and you're not gonna get rid of guys.
Right.
Otherwise, you're like I said, you're gonna create more holes in your team. You're not gonna get rid of Lane. If you're gonna keep Lane Johnson, if you're not gonna keep Lane Johnson at that number, you're gonna have to cut him or trade him. Yeah. Which I don't know what type of value. So now you have a hole on the right tackle. Get rid of Fletcher Cox, which I don't think you're gonna get much value for him.
So let me say this: if he gets hurt, then what?
Who's
gonna plug that hole when he gets hurt again?
That's Howie's job and Sirianni's job to put the players in the right position and build this team. That's the one thing I would say we can discuss next week when I would say right before free agency.
Right.
I'll say well, we somewhat discussed it last week with do we have faith in Howie, which we all said we don't, but sadly, we do. He's the one that's assembling this football team. It was already announced by Sirianni that it's Howie's job to assemble the football team, the 53-man roster, and it's Sirianni's job to get them for game day.
I have faith in Howie. I said, wait, hold on. You said we didn't have faith. I had faith in Howie.
I can't remember. I remember me and him at least. I can't remember you.
I have faith in you, Howie.
I haven't in a while.
Me and you,
2
man.
years already.
Yeah. But I what it sounds to me like in my opinion, I don't think they're trying to tank this year. And if you're not going to get rid of those pieces, it tells me he's trying to contend, which is a little confusing.
I think we're going to have a good season, a decent season.
Oh, I think it's going to be a shit show.
It's going to be fun. I think it's going to be fun. It's exciting, man. It's all new. It's new.
It'll be fun to watch, but I don't see us winning more than we'll probably
look. We're in a crappy division. The Washington football team did announce today, this week, that they are releasing Alex Smith. So the comeback player of the year is no longer on their team. They do have a hole at quarterback, so it's going to be interesting to see what they do in free agency.
Right.
It's still going up in the air with the Dallas Cowboys. I know they're working hard to try to extend Dak Prescott. I don't think they're going to franchise tag him. If that was the case, they probably would have already done it, unless they're going to wait till the 12th hour to do that. And then you have the Giants, who last year lost their star running back with Saquon Barkley for the season. Right. They have another year with Daniel Jones, who's a question mark. So the division's up for grabs. But honestly, with this rebuild, I would say you can't have contending and you can't have a rebuild in the same season.
I agree.
I'll say I know Jeffrey Lurie's going to try, and he's going to try to build or try to sell to the fan base that they are a contending football team. Right. So unless they make a major splash or make some hit on a lot of these rookies in this upcoming draft, with them having 4 picks in the first 100 selections, I'll say that's going to come key. It's going to make or break this franchise. And I'll say, but the thing is, right now, this ain't a Super Bowl contending football team like I brought up last week. I don't want a team that's going to contend. I want a team that's going to win us a Super Bowl. And right now, that team's not it. And you contending or just making the playoffs and not being able to go on a deep playoff run, what does that do for you? That actually, I feel that hurts your franchise. So
why restructure and keep paying these guys then?
Because you need to have guys under the belt. You need guys to have under the belt. You can't. Were they going to assemble a bunch of minimum scrubs from freaking the practice squads or from free agency? You still have to have a decent team around Jalen Hurts. You need to know what you have with Jalen Hurts.
I think we will. I think we'll be all right.
I don't think we're going to be all right.
I think we'll be okay.
It's going to be a shit show, guys. Let's get ready.
They got to figure us out.
Peanut, you were going to say something? Sorry.
I completely forgot.
But, okay. I'll say, so my question, the original question was, I would say with BG, so I would say, so do you guys say we move on from Derek Barnett? Yes or no?
Yes.
If we bring back BG?
You have to.
Yeah.
You have to. At
that cap number, yes. If they can restructure, bring it back. You still need depth. Josh Sweat is not a 3-down defensive end. I'll say he's worn down last season. His knees aren't that great. I'll say I said you still need depth along that defensive line. I'm saying Curry, I feel, is gone. He's 34 years old unless you have a major injury. And again, this is a different defense. Yeah. It's not Jim Schwartz. So the only reason they brought Vinny Curry back last year is because they needed that depth. He was familiar with the scheme and the defense, and he felt that he could play well in Jim Schwartz's scheme. We don't know how it's going to work with Gannon as our defensive coordinator.
You think Gannon's going to be a little more blitzy as opposed to what it was?
I hope so.
Yeah, I would say he feels like a guy that I would say just from hearing and reading what he's about, he likes to create a lot of pressure from more than just your front four. He's going to disguise a lot of different blitz packages from his linebackers, from his secondary.
Now, was this the guy from San Diego?
No.
I mean, LA?
No, this is the guy.
Colts?
This is the guy from Indianapolis.
Okay.
I think he was the defensive backs coach.
Defense.
So I say he doesn't have the same style as Jim Johnson, but he's definitely a lot more aggressive than Jim Schwartz. Jim Schwartz was a guy that relied too much on his front four, and I would say you lived and died by your front four. So if they didn't get pressure, your secondary was going to get torched, which is what we saw last season.
Big time.
And another move today, I'll say that the Eagles did. They did also restructure Darius Slay, freeing up some cap money. So I'll say it looks like Darius Slay is coming back for the 2021 season. Even though he didn't have the greatest year, I feel this is the right decision. Like I said, you can't gut this team, and they have a lot of impending free agents in the secondary. I'll say Nicole Roby-Coleman's a free agent. LeBlanc is a free agent. There's another guy. I think they're losing 3 or 4 guys in free agency, and then you have Avonte Maddox currently on the other side, which there's talk about moving him to safety. There's also
Mills. That's who's.
Mills is the other guy.
I like Avonte Maddox as a safety. I think he'd be better off there. You know what I'm saying? And let's face it, man. Jim Schwartz's system was not a cornerback friendly system.
Yeah, that's
like you're basically putting those guys out on an island. Yeah, you got to get pressure on the quarterback, and I think that's what the problem was with our defense last year is we relied on these big guys in the middle to do that, and they just couldn't deliver. You know what I'm saying? I know we had injuries and this, that, and the third, but without getting that initial pressure, you have cornerbacks going man-to-man coverage versus guys like Cooper or guys that are going.
But I would say to that point, Darius Slay, I love him to death. He didn't live up to the hype. He only gave up a 3rd-round pick in that contract, but he also has a little bit of a big ego. He told Jim Schwartz, hey, I'm a shutdown man corner. I can play against these guys. Do not give me the help. Yeah. So I'll say a lot of those times, and I know everyone says and I know everyone says, like, look, they don't throw Darius Slay's way because he's that good. Yeah, he might have been playing well at times, but the times they did throw at him, his numbers weren't that great. Just remember that Seattle game. Yep. I can't remember if it was Metcalf or the other guy.
It was Metcalf.
That freaking torched him for like 150-something freaking yards.
Yeah, he got burned. Yeah, he got burned bad.
And that's why we brought him in here. We kept on talking all offseason how he was a guy that would come in here and play against the team's number 1 corners or number 1 receivers, spy them, and shut them down because of the success he had in Detroit against the guys like Amari Cooper or McLaurin, some of these guys that we play twice a year, which for the most part he played pretty well against. But when you're going up against the top receivers in the game and you're getting torched like that in big situations like that Seattle game,
it's pretty hard to watch.
But honestly,
that's why he restructured.
Well, I honestly didn't feel they were going to move on from him. I didn't feel the value they were going to get in return. They gave up a 3rd-round pick.
Yeah, we're not going to.
So you're not going to get anything more than that. You gave him that contract, so
he was probably calling Howie like right away, like, you know what,
I'll play for free.
Yeah, you know what, come on, man, give me a beer and
I'll sponsor.
Yeah, I'll come back.
But I'm okay with that. 1 more year, see what happens.
No, I think Darius Slay's
he was okay.
He's a solid cornerback.
He allowed a few touchdowns.
Defensive schemes sometimes, like if you go to the wrong team, the wrong scheme, then you're not going to be the same player. And I think he might have said that, and I'm sure he's eating crow for that one, you know what I'm saying? But listen, this year he's got a new coach. He's got a new philosophy. The whole team is based off of what? Competition. So maybe some of these younger guys, too, can start getting, play. And I really do believe that Darius Slay is a solid cornerback. And he's the one that called Howie, and he was like, look, I'll restructure. I'll do anything I can to stay on this team.
Prove it. You got to prove it.
Hey, listen, it's not a rebuild year, according to Howie. In his mind, he thinks he can win it every year, and that's what I'm seeing by all these.
But you got to have that attitude. You know what I'm saying? In the NFL, you got to know. the fans want that. We want to hear that. You know what I'm saying? We're tanking.
Not necessarily. I think some fans want us to tank. You know, what are we going to go?
Yeah, but we're still
9-7, get the 20-something pick, and now we're out of.
I would say I don't feel any fan is somewhat. I don't feel any real fan is rooting for them to tank.
True.
This city of Philadelphia does not, especially their football team. The Sixers was a different circumstance.
Yeah,
I would say
the process.
Yeah, trust the process is completely different in the NBA than it is in the NFL. We love our football team way too much to let them and not scream at them or get frustrated with them to allow them to lose football games on purpose. And in the NFL, it's a lot different. I would say if you purposely try to lose football games,
like Washington,
I would say your teams are guys are going to get hurt. And I would say this is a contact sport. Yeah, this ain't the NBA where you can just flutter up a crappy shot or not play defense hard. This is a physical contact sport. And if you don't play at a full go, guys are going to get hurt. And you don't want that for guys. I would say you don't want to risk players' health. And plus, the NFL is not going to allow that. Yeah. The fact that I would say the NFL looked into and fans and people and NFL fans around the world were pissed off that the Eagles put in Sudfeld in Week 17 when when Washington had the game on the line, the winner go or winning in for the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I would say the NFL and the fan base is not, or fans are not going to allow that to happen.
How shitty does Sudfeld feel? But like, you tanked the game. Like, you sucked that bad.
Yeah, he threw him in there. He was probably like, "What, me?" Playing his Game Boy, texting somebody like, "What the fuck?"
He's on the phone with his wife. He's like, "Oh shit, hold on,
I didn't bring my helmet."
But I'll say shifting gears a little bit. That's a little bit of the Eagles news from this week. But I'll say there's still a lot of NFL news. Like I said, Alex Smith was released from the Washington football team. But there's also two other quarterbacks in the NFL right now that possibly could be on the move. We know Deshaun Watson does not want to return to the city of Houston. He already told management. He told new head coach, Coach Cawley, who used to be a former Eagles wide receiver coach here. So a little Philadelphia connection there. He told him he will not play there down in Houston. So Houston has a tough task to try to move him. And then there's some rumblings that I would say there could be a chance that Russell Wilson could be on the move. I know they somewhat turned down those reports, but there's other reports that saying Russell Wilson did tell management. He did tell management if for some reason he wants to play in Seattle, which of course he's going to say that because if he gets stuck there, then he of course. Right. But if there is a chance that he could be traded, here are the four teams, and of course one of those teams that he did say that he possibly would want to go to is our division rival, the Dallas Cowboys.
Let him go.
So my question to you, gentlemen, do you guys feel the Eagles should spin the tires and invest the franchise for Russell Wilson or Deshaun Watson? We talked last week about our faith in Jalen Hurts and if he can make that progress in year two. Right. But I'll say these are two quarterbacks that are stars in this league and have shown that they're productive. So your thought, gentlemen, if you're the Eagles, do you spin the tires on either one of these quarterbacks?
Yeah. I'll take Russell Wilson. I'll take Deshaun Watson in a heartbeat. These guys are game changers. These guys make people around them better. They're winners. They're proven winners. And I'm sorry, like if you can, and it's never going to happen because it's just never going to happen. Yeah. But if you could get it, I mean, why wouldn't I? You know what I'm saying?
If you can make it happen. But I wouldn't really entertain that at all, man.
That's that Philly optimism right there.
Well, remember, I'll say the Eagles were very high on Russell Wilson coming out of college. They instead, they felt he could have fell further than them, but he ultimately got taken by Russell Wilson, delivered them a Super Bowl. Yep. The Eagles ended up with Nick Foles his second time around. He did help us win a Super Bowl as well, but
yes, he did.
I'll say Russell Wilson, like you guys said, he's been proven to be a winner in this league. I'll say he has a 98-45-1 career record as a starting quarterback. Last season, he had 40 touchdowns to 13 interceptions with over 4,200 yards. So,
and when he goes it deep, man, they're just
I'll say
precise, man. I've never seen anything like that.
He had some tremendous weapons in Seattle. He had Metcalf, and he had Tyler Lockett. So I'll say it helped when you had weapons at your disposal to throw the football to. He's a 7-time Pro Bowler, but I'll say the one thing he's been complaining about in Seattle is that they're not building that offensive line that he felt he was getting too much.
So he'll never come here.
Well, that's what I'm about to say. I'll say
either Oakland or
he's going
Chicago.
Now
if you in the front line.
Now, what happens if he does go to Dallas? Because
I'm not worried about it.
You're not worried about it?
I'm not worried about it.
Man, I'd be worried. That team.
The only thing that just sucks is like he always beats us. I don't think we ever won against
We have never beaten Russell Wilson.
I'm not really. I don't care who Cowboys got on their squad.
Dude, if Russell Wilson goes to the Dallas Cowboys, be scared because they're on
5 years of this or something. You know
they would automatically go from probably not only the division
Super Bowl
winner,
contenders.
but probably a Super Bowl contender. I would say last
Jerry
season,
Jones won't allow that.
Last season they were a bad football
He
team.
will not allow that.
They were a bad football team, but they lost their star quarterback with Dak Prescott. I would say
And that showed that Dak was the man.
exactly. I would say they have a lot of weapons on that offense side of the football. They have CeeDee Lamb. They have Amari Cooper. They have Ezekiel Elliott. That offensive line, if they can rebuild that offensive line.
We're talking about like if they get him 5 years at least of misery for Philly.
The only reason I don't see it happening is because it seems like they are invested in Dak Prescott with Dak Prescott, and the compensation for Russell Wilson is going to be insane.
Yeah.
I'll say you're probably looking minimum 2 first-round picks, maybe 3.
Right.
Which I love Russell Wilson to death. If I'm the Eagles and Howie Roseman, Eagles fans, put this crap in the butt, nip it, get rid of it. Don't even discuss it anymore because there's no way in hell I am investing 3 freaking first rounders for Russell Wilson.
I would.
Like I said, I love him to death.
Oh, you would?
I would. Yeah,
Howie don't know how to pick anyway.
Howie knows how, he's all right, man. Listen,
at draft picking?
No, not at draft picking.
I'm saying. Hit those 3 first rounds. You would.
Nah, yeah, you're probably right.
But still, you don't want to put your team in the position and set the franchise back. What happens if Russell Wilson tears his ACL? What happens if he retires out of nowhere like Andrew Luck and the Indianapolis Colts were in that situation?
True.
You're not investing 3 first-round picks, especially since most likely 2 of those next year are going to be high first rounds. If you suck next year and you get, I'll say, and Carson, you hope that Carson,
gets that first.
I'll say plays 70% or 70 or 75%, and the Colts suck, and they have a high pick, or even so, you still have a mid to late first round pick either way there. I would say you want to put weapons on this football team, and if you need to know what you have at quarterback with Jalen Hurts. Otherwise, if you bring a guy like Russell Wilson in, you're moving on from Hurts.
True. Yeah, you have to. You trade him.
I'll say maybe not this year, but next year I'll say we're quarterback factory.
Maybe you can package that into the deal though, where you give Hurts or you give Seattle.
We don't think one Hurts.
I don't want.
They're gonna want somebody.
Wilson.
And he's almost not exactly the same player, but
which is why this deal, if it happens, it's gonna get done before the draft, and it's probably going to be one of those high picks. Because if that's the case, then they're drafting one of those quarterbacks in the first round.
Right.
But I'll say I probably would rather have Russell Wilson than Deshaun Watson. I'll say Watson had a hell of a year on a crappy football team last season, but he seems like a problem. I'll say he doesn't get his way, and I understand he's the franchise quarterback, and he wants to feel like the franchise quarterback, and he feels the management, if they're invested in him, should have his input on who they bring in as a head coach.
Right.
But, dude, you're getting paid millions of dollars to play freaking quarterback. You do what the freaking coach tells you to do.
Yep.
True.
Pretty much.
But you know what, though? That's a sinking ship, though. You know what I'm saying? You're asking him to stay on a sinking ship. Like, it's a business move for him to want to leave. You know what I'm saying? He's a good quarterback that wants to be on a winning team.
Quarterback?
Well, he's not a winning quarterback. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah.
Two of the best receivers.
I understand him getting upset with that. The fact that he traded his only weapon with DeAndre Hopkins for a first-round pick to Arizona, and then they traded for their
what if they swap out?
Right. Yeah.
Texas becomes.
Well, I don't like him because I don't like he's got like resting bitch face. Like, you ever look at him? He always looks angry. Like, it'll be 100-yard play, and he's like,
He does a Shanae look.
But yeah, on a losing football team last year in 16 starts, I would say he still completed 70% of his passes, 4,800 yards. Over 4,800 yards passing.
He's a beast.
33 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. I'm not denying he's a great quarterback.
He reminds me of Steve McNair, big time.
But I don't want to invest. I want to invest to the future and try to get weapons on this football team because that's the problem that this team has lacked the last couple of years.
True.
I'll say they have not been able to build this organization for the future through the draft. They keep on bringing, like David was upset about, they keep on bringing back these old veterans, restructuring contracts, and they're paying guys for past performance instead of going forward. So I rather try, let's go young. And like I said, the youth movement, especially going forward in the next couple of years, you don't invest that in one of these quarterbacks upcoming.
I agree. All right.
So I'll say next on the agenda, I'll say, what you guys want? I'll say you want to do your little game real quick. I'll say I know Peanut has a game. We're gonna try trying to do this a weekly segment for us. I'll say basically BS.
No game.
I'll say what are we calling this, Peanut? Are we calling true or BS or?
We'll call it truth or BS.
Okay, truth or BS.
We don't want to say the real word. Okay, we got that. We got that.
All right.
So I'm gonna tell you guys a story, and you have to tell me if it's false, BS, or if it's true. You guys ready?
Yeah. Hey, let me get some music.
Oh yeah, hell yeah!
Ding, ding, dong, dong.
All right, you guys ready? Oh snap! All right.
GOP.
Right. First question.
Not question, but tell me if this is true or false. Nintendo was founded in 1889.
1889?
1889.
BS.
You calling BS?
I'm calling BS.
True.
True?
It's too dumb not to say it's BS.
It is true. And as insider Jacob Shamson previously explained, Nintendo actually dates back to the late 19th century.
What the hell are they doing? Turtle shells? I'm throwing turtle shells and
turtle shell game.
After they ate it, kick it around.
Before becoming the gaming giant it is today, it started as a humble Japanese card game company.
Oh crap!
This one's gonna be funny right here. Bananas are berries, but strawberries are not.
True.
BS.
He's calling BS. It's true. According to botanists, true berries are simple fruits that stem from a single flower with a single ovary and typically have several seeds. This includes kiwis, pomegranates, eggplants, and yes, bananas. Strawberries, on the other hand, strawberries, on the other hand, stem from a single flower with more than one ovary, which makes them an I'm sorry, I'm messing this word. I'm sorry. Oh. Aggregate fruits, along with raspberries and blackberries. All right, last one right here. This one had me and my wife were like going through this, and I'm like, that's crazy. All right.
Let's see. Let's go. I'm excited, man.
Are you ready? Hold on 1 second. This is all right. Here we go. The Guinness Book of World Records was created to settle bar arguments.
I'm gonna say that's true.
I'll go with BS. But it's I'll stick with BS. I said it.
It's actually true, man.
What the hell? You didn't pick anything that was BS.
Well, that's why I was trying to throw you guys off.
What kind of crap
I had a feeling it was true.
Hold on.
I was like, it has to be true because we do stupid shit we do stupid stuff like that and then record it.
The Guinness Book of World Records was created to settle bar arguments. The official origin story for the Guinness Book of World Records, the annual book that catalogs all human achievement, is that it was used to settle an argument over whether golden plover or the red grouse is the fastest game bird in Europe.
What the hell?
That's crazy.
That's interesting.
So there's no BS this week, fellas.
Let's keep going. Give us something else. Give us one BS.
I got more.
Give us another one real quick.
I got it.
Before we transition.
We'll trade. All right.
One more.
This will be the last one, okay?
One more.
A woman named Violet Jessup survived the sinking of both the Titanic and its sister ship, the Britannic.
True.
BS. You have to give us one freaking BS.
I give you no bullshit. Nickname Miss Unsinkable. Jessup was a stewardess and a nurse on
I remember hearing something. I didn't know who it was.
We're not playing this game ever again.
Passenger ships.
I think there's a male as well that survived 2 sinking ships or something. Hit the lottery and everything.
And with that, BS you not, my friends.
Ooh. I like that.
Wow. I'm sorry to our entire
Jets
audience.
fans.
Right? Oh my God. That was not planned. Peanut brought that up, and that was the worst game
I
I've
call
ever.
BS.
I was saying
We planned it all week.
What was BS was that freaking game. So I apologize.
And you
Nah,
got
that
to
shit wasn't
join.
BS, man. That shit was no BS.
But I'll say shifting gears a little bit, I would say we still have a lot to get to. With a short amount of time here on the All About the Birds Network. This is Birds, Beer, and BS. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, hit that like button.
Yep.
Tell us what you think of the show. Comment. So make sure you subscribe so you can catch all our episodes exclusively on the All About the Birds Network YouTube channel for the time being. And make sure to check out all our other shows here on the All About the Birds Network. Monday, we have Chips and Dish. Tuesday, we have Fairways to Heaven, the golf show here on the All About the Birds Network. Wednesday, of course, the All About the Birds weekly report.
Yep.
That big show this past week, so make sure to check it out on YouTube. And then, of course, Fridays here. And then Saturdays, we do have the All About the Birds draft show. So depending on when you're watching this, I would say tomorrow, big guest on the All About the Birds draft show. We do have former Penn State linebacker, NFL linebacker LeVar Arrington joining Johnny and Tom Barnett. So make sure to check that out. If you're watching this after the fact, go back on the YouTube channel, give it a like, and give it a watch. So
I'm watching.
That's no BS.
But I'll say there is some encouraging news for the sports fan here in the state of Pennsylvania.
Okay.
As it was announced this past week that restrictions for sporting events have been lifted.
Nice.
Sorry, not lifted, but eased.
Right.
So I'll say we will now see fans in time for opening day for the Phillies' first game of the season.
Nice.
And then we are starting to see some fans arrive for the Sixers after the All-Star break, as well as the Flyers game, first game Sunday, when I believe they host the Washington Capitals. So I would say big strides moving forward. I would say it's good to have fans back. I'm tired of seeing the cardboard cutouts, even though it was for a good cause. Almost every team took donations and place for you to put your cardboard face or body at one of these games. So it was always a fun time.
I think there was like 2 games this season, right? Where we had people in the stands, the first 2 or something like that.
But they still, I'll say there was a couple. Yeah, there was 2 or 3 games. They were at like a very small percentage,
like 10,000, 7,000 or something.
Yeah, and they were still there. But I thought so. You're looking at, I think, for this Phillies game, Phillies. I could be wrong. I think roughly about 8,000 fans.
Nice.
And then the other game or other because it's an outdoor arena. And
Did they show up today? Because they whooped the
Not
Yankees.
8,000 fans, but 8,000 people admitted.
Yeah, 8,000 people, including you have to count the teams, the staff, and the stadium workers.
That's
So
still about 7,000.
I'll say my question to you guys. I know that we're trying to get back to normal. We're hoping it gets back to normal very soon. I would say make sure everyone keeps on wearing their masks, stay safe. I would say we're all family. We're tested, so that's why we're not wearing the masks. So please don't fret here. We are fine. But I would say, gentlemen, I would say, are you guys excited for? My question for you guys is: would you go to a game? Like, if you had a chance to buy tickets and go to a Flyers game, a Phillies game, a Sixers game, or whatever, would you go?
Not right now.
Yeah.
Not right now.
Why is that?
Because the situation, the health scare. You know what I'm saying? It's just.
I get that. I'll say everyone's circumstance is different.
Yeah,
I'll say I'll say depending if you live with someone that's possibly high risk,
Right.
Or your age, or or yourself, you have your own personal issues.
Right.
Me personally, I'll say with my situation, I would go, but the prices right now are absolutely insane.
Did they raise the prices?
No, not the teams. The teams I think only raised them slightly. At least the Flyers.
They gotta make that money back.
The Flyers are the only ones so far that sell tickets. The Phillies go on sale next week, and I think the Sixers go on later this week or next week.
Right.
But just on the secondary market, I think for the opening day for the Phillies opening game, I would say on StubHub right now, like the cheapest ticket for like upper level seats is like $250 freaking dollars, not including fees. I don't think.
Wow. I'd still go.
I want to know how much the parking is.
I'd still go, man.
So I would say I would go if the tickets are affordable. The circuit, I would say, because the thing is, this is if you're a sports fan and you don't like the crowded arenas and you don't like bumping into people or having guys on both sides of you, this is the perfect time to go to games. You don't have to wait. You don't have to wait for a long line at the bathroom or the concession stands. A lot of these arenas and teams, they're advancing the process. Everything is going to be cash. A lot of these places, I know the Iron Picks, the Lehigh Valley Phantoms, I believe, they announced that everything's going to be like
Dogecoin.
I would say
Dogecoin.
contact. blacklist where you just wave your credit card in front of the thing. Automatically pays for it.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
I think the Iron Pigs are still gonna do like where you can go on the app and like order the food automatically and just go pick it up.
Yeah.
So
shout out to the Iron Pigs, by the way.
why's that?
I don't know.
We love the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs. If you haven't figured out, we are located in Lehigh Valley, so we do have a lot of love for the local teams, the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs, and also the Lehigh Valley Phantoms, the Flyers, and the Phillies affiliates.
So you'd pay $250, right? I would.
Depending on the game. I would say I probably wouldn't spend that much for opening day upper level seats for a Phillies game in the beginning of the season.
Right.
I have always wanted to go to an opening day game, so maybe eventually
For the baseball?
football.
You'll be out of the third inning. For the baseball.
Football, I contemplated it, I would say, this past season, but the team sucks so bad. I'm like, I'm not investing possibly $400, $500, $600 for a team to get our asses kicked. So.
And you possible COVID too at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm
Get
saying?
2 L's.
To be at $250, you come home, it's like, oh shit,
Got a fever.
I got a fever, been coughing all week. Nah, I would do it. I think we need to get back to normal, man.
I as watching from home as a spectator, I would love to see the fans, the real boos, but I don't know. It's too soon for me, man.
I ain't a friend though.
Personally,
the Eagles really stepped it up when I seen the
when they did the boos.
when-
I was like,
when-
is that Jeff?
Yeah, when
Jeff doing that?
when you get the automated boos, man.
You know it's real. That's Philly.
That was great.
That's
I was
Philly.
like, I forget what game it was. Me and Jeffrey were watching. I'm like,
That's a couple.
are they feeding in booze through the speakers?
I
And
love
he's like,
it,
yeah,
man.
they are. I'm like, man, we are great.
That's how
We'll boo
do.
you. We'll boo you from home, and it'll like literally come through the
Yep.
speaker. We got this.
I'm just hoping, I was saying, this is all over and gone, or at least I don't think we're ever going to be back to completely normal.
No.
But I would say hopefully things are somewhat close back to normal in time for football season.
Yeah,
I just want to get back at that link. I would say I want
wanna
the
go to a
fans
restaurant.
cheering, and well, that too. But
Yeah.
I would say just to go out there and I'll say cheer on our Eagles. Just I'll say whether they suck or not. I'll say
they
just
gonna
being in
suck.
that, just
Happy
being in
ending
that
with
stadium.
Get a happy ending with a
The mascot's
mascot.
no good. It's no good.
Look at
Let's get
Jeffrey
back to
rubbing his
it.
face.
Like,
Jesus.
I just had one before he came here.
Yo, I love this show, man.
This is a crapshoot. This is a shit show, bro.
Oh, we love the shit show.
We love you, Iron Pigs.
Oh my goodness, but I'll
all
say moving on real quick. I'll say we have a few moments here on Birds Beer and BS. Thank you for everyone that has tuned in so far. We appreciate the love.
Definitely.
Message me, comment, whatever. Let us know what you think of the show, what we can do better. Some maybe topics that you want to hear us talk about. I'll say
Feedback's good.
yeah, I'll say we're always looking for input. We're always looking to improve. We're always looking for a good show. So I'll say without the listeners, without the fans, we wouldn't be here. So we want to continue to improve. So
Absolutely.
I'll say we're going to change gears a little bit. I'll say from sports, I'll say since this is Birds, Beer, and BS, we're going to throw in some pop culture like I teased earlier. And it was quoted this week that Brie Larson was interviewed about her time here in the Marvel Universe and being a Marvel character.
Mm-hmm.
And she apparently made a comment in the interview, which let me see if I can find it real quick. I did have it. Here it is. I'll say
Marvel.
she was interviewed, and I'll say she had this quote to say.
It's Marvel.
What?
He didn't know who Brie Larson was.
I think it's talking about WandaVision.
I know. I
saw it today. I saw WandaVision today.
Okay, we'll talk about that next week. I'll say because this is season finale, so
don't
we
say
don't
anything,
want to spoil anything.
Please
yet.
don't. I haven't watched it yet.
But I'll say real quick, I'll say Brie Larson did say this in her interview that she had this past week, and I quote, I mean, obviously, when I think I'm the strongest one. Why? Is it Captain Marvel? I don't know. I didn't write it. This is just how it is. These are just facts. I don't make up these facts. I think Thanos cheated. I mean, listen, it's such a fun game to play. I love the question because I obviously have a tongue-in-cheek thing with Chris Hemsworth about it being because he is very set that he's the strongest one, so it's all fun. So that was her comment when she was asked about who she feels is the strongest Avenger. Guys, your thoughts?
Well, first of all, the whole tongue-in-cheek thing made me feel like maybe Brie Larson did something that she shouldn't have done.
Yeah, we're masks.
But yeah, she's right though. The way they wrote it, she's superly OP. She's overpowered.
She didn't kill him.
Nah, but they can't write it that way. It's almost like the Incredible Hulk. It's like, oh, she can fly, she can shoot things, she can do this, she can do that, she can do that. She's kind of right. I'll give her that. I don't think it should be that way. I think it's kind of bullshit.
Nah, I don't think so. I don't think she's the strongest.
Then who's your strongest then? Who do you think is the strongest?
I've been watching WandaVision, so I think
Ooh, shut up.
the little kid. Nah, I'm joking. I think
I
Wanda.
hope you didn't spoil that for me, bro.
What the hell did you say?
I threw you guys off, man. Okay, but I felt the tap, so I was like the little kid.
Well, you didn't say who your strongest guy is.
Who's the strongest?
Do you watch Avengers? Do you watch Marvel?
I watch the movies when they come out, but I'm not too like.
Right.
I don't know too much, but from what I saw Wanda fight the Vision dude and then fight Thanos at the same time, so I'm thinking maybe.
Dude, turn in your man card. I'll say you're in
Man card.
Man card.
Talk about a woman.
Turn in that man card, dude. I'll say
We talking about a woman.
Any real man fucking watches the Marvel Cinematic Universe and at least knows the names and know who the hell Brie Larson is.
He said any
Any
real
straight dude knows who Brie Larson is.
Hey, I need you guys to comment on that.
Yeah, comment on that.
We need feedback on that.
Wow.
Because Jeff just called me gay.
For a lack of a better term, yes, he did.
And I am not there. I have nothing against the gay community, so I just stop that right there. But
Hey, so he did.
Hey, I said the G word last week. Remember that? I apologize for that. By the way,
let's not get back into that. Let's
G
get back
word,
to the
I'm
Marvel,
sorry.
the Marvel chick.
She's overpowered, man. She is. She's stronger than him.
Dude,
there's no question.
Thor, he's a freaking god. He's the only one that can hold the Mjolnir hammer. He's the only one that has the power to
Captain
do
America
that.
in the movie did it.
Captain America did it.
Or can they beat what the heck this dude from the show you put me on to?
Oh my God, The Boys.
Yeah, what's the guy's name?
No one watches that garbage.
What?
Nobody watches
No
The Boys.
straight man. That
You're gonna pull my eyes? You're gonna pull my eyes?
Yes, man.
what's his name, man? I forgot his name.
Homelander?
Yeah, Homelander.
Homelander. Man, The
Okay.
Boys.
Well, anyway, when it comes to the Avengers, I like them all, man. But the strongest, I think, I don't even know, man. I can't.
Dude, it's Thor.
It's her.
It's Thor.
It's her.
It's Thor or Iron Man. Iron Man was the only one that killed Thanos. If it wasn't for him sacrificing himself, sorry. If you haven't watched freaking Endgame by now and I just spoiled for you that Iron Man dies, go get a life and go freaking watch the freaking movie.
Yeah, but he died.
Straight.
Can't be that strong. He died.
Dude, he sacrificed himself with all the Infinity Stones. You try holding the Infinity Stones within that freaking and not die.
I try to piss one out. That's not cool. I ain't trying to hold one.
We're not talking about kidney stones, bro. We're talking about the Infinity Stones.
Oh my!
I like them all, man. I think they're all.
Listen,
I like 'em all.
she's the strongest Avenger. She is. She flies in space without a suit, man. She don't even need to breathe, man. She got mad hair, just wavy. It turns into fire and shit. Yeah,
She's
man.
pretty, man. She's a beautiful
And she's
woman.
hot as shit.
She's a beautiful.
Sorry,
woman.
Bree.
Agree to disagree. I would say I don't care if she's hot or not, but she's not, until she can prove to me that she can do something to save the entire world. Then she can tell me she's a strong Avenger.
So you don't think she's the strongest?
I don't think she's the
Oh yeah,
strongest.
you just said Thor. You just said Thor.
You said
Thor?
Thor?
Correct.
Thor or Iron Man? I'm sorry. Iron Man at least saved the freaking universe.
Who was
He
Iron
did.
Man supposed to be? Tom Cruise or something, right?
What the fuck?
What?
You saying who was before they
I
cast
think it was Tom
I
Cruise.
got you.
If
Yeah.
it was the 90s, it would have been Tom
If
Cruise
Tom Cruise would have been,
or Brad Pitt.
there's no way that shit would have worked, man. He would have been. He was. Oh, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna stunt myself.
Like I believe in real aliens. He's a Thanos guy.
Thanos. Nah, she's the strongest Avenger. She really is. At least in the MCU.
I don't know.
Who's stronger than her?
I don't
Thor's
know.
not.
I don't know about that, bro.
She could beat Thor's
I gotta
ass.
do my homework.
She could beat Thor's
Yeah,
ass.
you need to go binge
My favorite-
watch all
my
the
favorite-
Marvel shows
my favorite
and then
characters-
come back
My
because
favorite character is Gambit.
Oh wow, we
I like
going
Gambit.
back to like
Yeah, that's
X-Men.
my
dude, we're not,
That's like early 90s.
They're
You said you watch Marvel.
They're technically not even part of the Marvel universe.
Let me ask you a question.
Cinematic
Is that Chinese dude from Wanda Gambit?
Oh my goodness!
Is he Gambit? And it's that girl.
Did you just say the Chinese dude?
Yeah, and the girl roll.
We're talking about stopping Asian hate, and you're going out there saying the freaking Chinese
I don't
dude?
know his name.
Well, if he's
Wong?
Chinese, he's Chinese. There's nothing wrong with saying Chinese.
Freaking stereotypes here.
You know, it's a stereotype.
That's like saying the black guy.
I'm gonna tell you a stereotype. There was this Chinese woman. She gave birth, and I said, "What's the?" It's like out of nowhere, just quick bang. And I said, "What's the baby's name?" She's like, "Suddenly."
I am editing that out, bro.
BS. Oh shit!
Watch the chair, dude.
I didn't do nothing.
Yo, your chair got a stick.
That shit just
Do not
my
break
virginity twice.
Do not break the chair, otherwise your wife. I have it on tape that you are paying me for these freaking chairs, bro.
I'm sitting in it. What do you want me to do?
Well, you keep on rocking back and forth and playing with shit, bro. Watch it out. This is the freaking Eagle Jeff Man Cave. Do not mess with my shit,
I'm
bro.
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm gonna stay right here.
Gold.
As you see the luxurious wall behind us.
You better not edit that out,
think I
man.
broke
You better
it.
keep that in. No, you didn't. You're good. It's not that, bro. It's just a
Something entered me. I can't even get out.
Okay, I'll say this is a freaking giant train wreck. So let's end this shit real quick, gentlemen.
Hey,
I'll say, do you guys have any final words, thoughts before we get out of here for our episode 2 of Bird
I had
Beer
a
and
good time. I'm
BS?
looking forward for next week and
Absolutely.
stay tuned. Feedback.
You know what? I second that notion. I think
Eagles.
this is great.
I had a good time.
Yeah. Look at Jeffries.
I got called gay. This
Right.
chair just took my virginity for the second time.
He said the chair entered you.
No, bro, I'm scared to move. I'm not moving because Jeff told me not to.
You know what? Special shout out to Phil, All About the Birds,
Tune in.
Chip, and my wife, man. Me and my wife literally trolled the shit out of A2D yesterday.
$50.
Yeah, it was $50, but we had a great time watching them. Love you guys. Peace.
I'll say thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We would like to thank our sponsors, the Hair Connection off of Iroquois in Allentown. If you are not from the Lehigh Valley and still want to support the Hair Connection, you can visit their website, thehairconnection.com. They have a bunch of beautiful products, facial and hair products that you and anyone in your family could use. So make sure to check them out, thehairconnection.com. Make sure to check out all our shows on the All About the Birds Network. Again, Mondays, Chip and Dish. Tuesday, Fairways to Heaven. Wednesday, the AAT Birds Weekly Report. Fridays, I would say, of course, here, Birds, Beer, and BS. Saturdays, the All About the Birds Draft Report. So make sure to check them out. And also to make sure to check out our All About the Birds shop at aatbirds.com/shop. Hopefully we'll get a couple of Birds, Beer, and BS shirts up on the shop for all our fellow followers and listeners to support the program, as well as aatbirds.com. There's tons of great content from all our writers on the website. I'll say a lot of great content. If you need the latest information about Jason Kelce, Brandon Graham, their possible restructures. Also, one of our writers, Chris Ramoni, he did have a chance as a season ticket holder to sit down with Nick Sirianni, personally with a bunch of other season ticket holders, where he got to ask a question. So he had to write up there on aatbirds.com. So make sure, keep on supporting the website. Any way we can help. We want feedback. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification, let you know whenever any one of our shows goes live, because we want to hear from you. We want the support, because without our fans, without our listeners, and without our friends and family, we wouldn't be here. So we want to continue to grow and move forward and impress you guys and give you guys great quality content.
Absolutely.
So I'll say, as we say here, All About the Birds on the Birds, Beer, and BS show, drink them if you got them, and go Birds.
There you go. Let's go, Philly.
Have a great night, everyone.